All right, people, it's Thor Diecal this week on Blu-ray and DVD, and we start things off with the $1 billion worldwide smash at the box office. It's time for some Bayham. Yes, Michael Bay back with a fourth Transformers installment. Unfortunately, this one was much like the third one in a virtual carbon copy, but they took out Shia LaBeouf and put in Mark Wahlberg. Get a load at Age of Extinction.
The shrapnel in the engine? It ripped all the connections apart. And watch, and this took some K-genius. Want to hook this back to a working battery?
Calling all 101.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's a truck at all. I think we just found a transformer.
Honestly, are these movies written by 12-year-olds? I was such a fan of the Transformers film franchise when it started years ago because I am a fanboy. I grew up on the toys, but this is getting ridiculous. The movie did make a ton of box office bank, but it's just silly now. You got all the low-angle Michael Bay shots, the frantic action, nothing really changes, and he kept touting this was going to be a different adventure. It's not. It's virtually the same film as the third one, but you've got the Dinobots in this one. I didn't really like how they did that, frankly, because as I say, I was a fan growing up with those things. They were very close to my heart. I didn't like how they sort of took them in a bold new direction. The special effects in these films, though, are always stunning. They're full of action. There are some funny moments, but the stories are getting so drawn out, and it's eventually just a city getting leveled by giant robots that, when they fight, are far too frantic to really follow and make any sense of what's happening on screen. So I am totally off board the Transformers franchise, but it's showing no signs of slowing down. This is, in fact, going to be the start of a brand new trilogy, so get looking forward to having Mark Wahlberg in a few more of these movies. Now, there are about 3 hours of bonus features, so if you like this film, and there are a lot of people worldwide that did, the Blu-ray will not disappoint. There are tons of features on the cars, the Dinobots, bringing the characters to life, all the set locations, and it was co-financed in China, so there's a lot of on-location shooting in Asia. There you go. There are some jaw-dropping action scenes, but it's Michael Bay at his finest. You can love that or loathe it. All right, moving on. We're talking, of course, about Chef, a delightful comedy with some fine food elements in it that will make your mouth water. And this is from writer-director Jon Favreau, and he also is the lead. Check it out.
And either you cook the menu that our customers have come to...
You want me to cook the same food?
The same exact...
The same food that he ripped apart? The same guy who's coming tonight?
The restaurant isn't filled with critics. It's filled with people that have been eating your food for the last 10 years. So now suddenly you're going to be an artist. Well, be an artist on your own time.
Listen to me.
No sweetbreads.
There you go. Set up perfectly. Jon Favreau loses his job at a high-profile restaurant in Los Angeles. Look at these shots. Gorgeous. Really reminds me of The Trip with Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon. A wonderful cast here, including Bobby Cannavale, John Leguizamo, Dustin Hoffman, Scarlett Johansson, Sofia Vergara, and a brief cameo from Robert Downey Jr. Loses his job at the restaurant, decides to go into the food cart business, and the movie follows him driving across the southern United States, trying to get the food cart going, and also reconnecting with his somewhat estranged young son, because he's, from a sort of a broken home, and he's trying to reconnect with his former wife, Sofia Vergara, and, spend the summer with his son. A very sweet, lighthearted movie with not a lot of conflict going on. Now, if you're a fan of traditional sort of movies with that, climax that you need, or the battle between good and evil, this one is not for you. It's just a nice breezy look at fathering and someone with a passion for cooking, and it's all beautifully brought to screen. And Jon Favreau continuing to show his talents, not only on screen as a wonderful lead in this film, but also behind the camera directing and just crafting a really nice script. So Chef, one of the hidden gems, I think, of the year. If you like food culture and delicious things on screen, Chef might just be for you. Okay, Jack is back now, 24, in a brand new season. And just when you thought you could close the chapter on this series, no, it is back, because 24 Live Another Day picks up 4 years after the previous season with 12 brand new episodes. Get a look.
Jack, they're in the corridor right outside. You have to buy more time.
Which direction are they coming from?
Rounding the corner on your left.
Can you see if the Marines are wearing body armor?
Looks like it to me.
You, in the black jacket. What's your name?
Jenny.
Jenny, slowly come towards me. I need you to open the door on my command. Chloe, where are they?
They're on you, Jack.
Open the door now.
Oh, yeah, great suspense, great action, and things go across the pond in London for this one. So Jack's got to spring into action to try to save the U.S. president. In retribution for a drone strike he ordered, the president is in the crosshairs of the widow of an al-Qaeda leader. This can only be right out of 24. So Jack risks everything to save the U.S. and prevent a global terrorist attack, also outrunning the head of the CIA, played by Benjamin Bratt. A lot of real-time tension in this one. I mean, 24 went on to win 20 Emmy Awards. Tate Donovan's also great in this 12-episode series. It's very intense, and the DVD and Blu-ray extras include 24 Solitary, an intense story extension of Season 9. Gets a look at this basically very special new season because of the time jump. Jack's been exiled in London there. But good stuff there for all the Jack Bauer fans out there. You will not be disappointed if you've been following 24 through its very successful run. Okay, next we're going to be talking about a little bit of a somber note because this next film features a late actor in his final film role. Yes, we're talking about Mccanick, and this is one with David Morse and the late Corey Monteith. And it's set over the course of one day. A narcotics detective hunts for a seemingly harmless young criminal, played by Monteith, who knows about the truth, basically, about a cop's past. So Kieran Hines also very effective in this film. And it just goes to show you that Monteith was such an incredible young talent, and he obviously had a very complicated life, was battling personal demons. But on screen, he showed that he had a bright future ahead of him and was very versatile. Unfortunately, his life cut short due to personal problems, but you can see him on screen for the final time here, Corey Monteith in Mccanick, backed by a wonderful cast here, leading the way with David Morse, who's always effective in everything. So it's a gritty crime drama, and if you like that sort of thing, this one might be one to check out, and might be worth checking out just to see Corey's last role as it stands there on screen. Now, Words and Pictures, and this is one that may have passed you by, but it stars Clive Owen and Juliette Binoche in a very interesting little twist that sort of is an academic setting. It's a romantic drama that tells the story of a writer played by Owen whose talents are dried up and an artist played by Binoche who's struggling to paint as her body starts to betray her. Now, the two rivals clash at the school where they both teach at, and that sparks a kind of flamboyant courtship and a school-wide war in which the students decide which is more powerful, the word or the picture. Now, this is from the acclaimed director of 6 Degrees of Separation, Roxanne, and A Cry in the Dark. You've got two great lead performances here from Owen and Binoche. They've got excellent chemistry, a nice little script. So this one is for the romantic drama fans out there, Words and Pictures. All right, we leave you with a documentary that is now available video on demand, and this is a great story called Delivery, and it's about 4 friends who get together to try stand-up comedy for the first time ever, exploring all the fear and anxiety about life and death and how that translates up on stage when you're trying comedy, because it's not an easy thing. Getting in front of people telling jokes is one of the hardest things you can do. But the movie also centers around Mark Myers, a Toronto filmmaker. This is his first foray into movie making. He's also going to be a dad, soon-to-be father, and he was a former Much Music VJ, but he gets together with 3 of his friends, and they set out across the country as well to interview various established comedians to find out what it is about comedy that makes it work, what are the challenges, how can you be funny, are you born funny, and just basically all the etiquette and techniques to actually getting up on stage and having a delivery. And it all sort of culminates when the 4 of them get up on stage one night and all do their stand-up routine. So it chronicles his life with his wife, sort of going through becoming a dad. And there's also another sweet story with one of his friends whose father is dying. So there's this whole cradle to the grave sort of scenario, mixed with this, trying to establish what it is about stand-up comedy that makes it so hard, with all these great cameos from established comics, and them trying out their routines. Great stuff, very poignant, heartwarming, hilarious in many parts, and equal parts funny and drama. I love this one, Delivery. Get it, video on demand right now. There you go, people. Very touching stuff in that one. I really enjoyed it. I'm Thor Dykow. That's it. It's this week on Blu-ray and DVD. We close it out once again. Get me on Twitter @ThorDykow. See you next week on btvancouver.ca.